All right, good afternoon and welcome to the show. The Buzz on Galaxy Television is a program that brings you closer to social media, and today we're going to be doing just that again on the show. It's the 24th of April 2018 and it's a Tuesday afternoon. My name is Patience Belokafo. I welcome you warmly to today's program. Alera is here as well. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Alera.
Patience. And I'm pretty excited about today's edition of The Buzz because a lot of entertainers have been wondering why we all keep on discussing Buhari and the other things and not talk about this particular issue.
It's been on the news for a bit. We have tried to ignore it, you know, but it looks like it's not going away. So
no, you tried to ignore. I did not try to ignore.
We might just as well just plunge in. And for a lot of industry observers, of course, you would have heard or read or seen, whatever the case is, the ongoing brouhaha between the Copyright Society of Nigeria, COSON, the NCC, and also a lot of Nigerian artists who have also waded into the issue vis-a-vis some other, apex bodies in the music industry like the P-Man and the rest of them. It's really a big one. Today we're looking at the battle for the soul of COSON. That's how we have tagged it. Joining us on the program this afternoon, we have Mr. Efe Omorugbe. Of course, he's a well-known figure within the Nigerian music and entertainment business. He's an event manager and an artist manager, and of course we know him as the CEO of Now Music, which is basically an artist management outfit. Good afternoon, Mr. Omorugbe. Thank you for joining us on the show. My pleasure.
Good afternoon, Efe.
All right, also sitting very pretty on the other side is Mr. Pretty Okafor. We all know him. He is currently the president of the Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria, P-Man. He's also an artist and he's a businessman and he's so many other things rolled into one. Good afternoon, Mr. Okafor. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Pleasure.
Good afternoon. And Patience, I guess there's something about P-Man. I guess it's the Performing Musician Employers
Association.
Association of Nigeria. Yes. Right. Okay.
All right, so we have one empty seat there, but it will be filled in a bit. Our third guest is almost here and we hope will join us in the course of the show. All right, let's go straight into the program today. But before we do that, remember the show is quite interactive. We urge you to use the number 0708740758 to send in your SMSs only. That number is only for SMS. And also you can make use of all of our other social media portals.
Yes, using the hashtag The Buzz on Facebook, www.facebook.com/GalaxyTV, and on Twitter at official Galaxy TV, knowing that you could get to watch previous editions of the program via our YouTube channel, Galaxy TV Nigeria.
That's right. All right, so for those who are not conversant with what has been going on within the entertainment circle, particularly within the Copyright Society of Nigeria, COSON, let me quickly fill you in by giving you a background story. Since the purported removal of Chief Tony Okoroji as chairman of COSON last year, December, the Copyright Society of Nigeria, COSON, and a lot of other industry spearheads have not known peace again. And there are indications that there might be no end to the lingering leadership crisis, and this may cripple the once active collecting society. You'll recall that the crisis was triggered by the action of 6 board members of the society who met on the 7th of December last year, and they moved a motion to remove Chief Tony Okoroji as chairman of the society. He was replaced by Mr. Efe Omorugbe here. This move, however, generated a lot of mixed feelings among the members, leading to the EGM, which is the Extraordinary General Meeting, which held on the 19th of December also last year. And at that particular meeting, Chief Tony Okoroji was restored as chairman of the society. Well, despite this development, Mr. Efe Omorugbe's led faction have maintained their grounds that Chief Tony Okoroji remains sacked as COSON chairman, and that's why we're here, gentlemen. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, let's quickly announce it that Chief Tony Okoroji was also called to be part of this, but he has something else to do and he cannot come here. Just to let us be aware that we want a balance and no side taking. We just want the issues plain out there. All right, before we start talking, let's take a quick footage. Let's hear what the complaints are and then we'll come back.
Betrayed the trust and lost the confidence of the directors who appointed him as chairman and was consequently sacked by a 6-4 vote witnessed by the NCC representative Obie Ziolu at the December 7, 2017 emergency board meeting.
See, the issue is betrayal of trust. So let's keep the focus. What has Okoroji done? Is Okoroji fit to be COSON chairman? No. My own opinion. Is Okoroji fit to be a member of the board of COSON? No, he's unfit. He has betrayed the trust, he betrayed the confidence. He has done things that people should not be allowed to do and walk free.
In fact, I specifically offered Mr. Okoroji the opportunity to resign before we voted. Specifically. Thanked him for his service to COSON, thanked him for his time, and asked him to leave the stage now. The chairman's office is a non-executive office in the constitution of COSON. It is also not a life position. And we asked him, and we were at the meeting, we're all there, I said, sir, with all due respect, please step aside so we don't have to put it to a vote. We're all here. We put it to a vote. It was 6-4. There's no mathematics, there's no mix. This wasn't option A4. 6-4. So what we'll talk about, what they did at the EGM is an illegality. The EGM was specifically called just for distribution, and the EGM has no legal power to change the board.
Welcome back. Yes, Mr. Efe Omorugbe, let's start with you. Now, since the events that occurred at the COSON House in December till now, it's almost 5 months, you know, and all of that. Why is this matter still lingering?
Plain and simple. Chief Okoroji has bluntly refused to comply by the directives of the regulator. Chief Okoroji has worked with his agents to listening of the COSON House.
The regulator, sorry to cut in, the regulator here being NCC.
Yes, the Nigerian
Okay,
Commission.
all right, go ahead.
Yes, so Okoroji has bluntly refused. Short of going there to physically drag him on the floor, you know, he is bluntly refused. And we ask ourselves, I mean, it's a very simple question, why? In my opinion, is desperation, desperation and fear. We've called for a full forensic audit of accounts and operations because Okoroji's claim was that he was unfairly treated, he was illegally removed. So we've basically requested for a full forensic audit to establish if, you know, allegations against him hold water or not.
What are these allegations?
Oh, they're widely published. I'm a bit worried about how the media thus far had managed to put all of these presentations together, right? And somehow always forget to list the infractions.
Because the infractions are not really clear, clear to us.
They're crystal clear.
Then would you just be able to, kind enough to just tell us
what are these
infractions
allegations?
For free, very simple.
Okay.
If I had 6 hours, I probably would able to, you know, do a good job. But let me try to, you know.
Okay.
We had issues on the board prior to December 7, and the issues were basically simple. Okoroji had unilaterally awarded contracts that the board did not approve.
Okay.
There were details, there were issues around how the entire process was put together. 2 of our meetings had ended up with directors working out. Okoroji had sat with us in a meeting and defended the quotation of a vendor, of an agent right? In front of us in a way that left us totally bemused and embarrassed, because we are COSON, we are the board of COSON. There's board, there's management, and there are vendors and agents and contractors, right? So you would expect that if a contractor came to us with a quotation or with a claim, you would have to defend it. So it should be all of us sitting and asking management, and vendor, how far? How come this is 1K? How come this is 15K?
Yes.
But when it is Okoroji, chairman of the board, that is making the presentation, that is defending the quotation, of the contractor, then you're asking yourself, guy, just establish your loyalty. Are you with us or are you against us? We made a very simple request. We wanted to negotiate quotation for renovation of the COSON house. Okoroji bluntly refused. Right, so
wait, can I butt in? You want to renovate COSON house?
Yes.
COSON house is newly built.
Yes.
What exactly are we renovating?
We bought the COSON. It was a board decision
to
buy
it
the
was
COSON
okay.
house. We were at 25 Omodara Street. We had a quick notice,
and moved.
And we felt that instead of renting somewhere else, if there was an opening to purchase a permanent, structure, of course. So the board met, we discussed, we approved. We expect that there will be proper tenders, proper bidding. If there are options, all of this will put on the table, and everybody will go through it. Take a close look at everything. Now, when we eventually made the move, we bought the house. The initial agreement was that the roof needed some work. So we said we're going to renovate from the roof of the first floor. Right. Between that meeting and when someone like myself got back, they had moved from renovation of the roof to an entire overhaul of the building. Now, this process of overhaul of the building, would expect that there would be, as I said, tenders, proper procurement process, all that.
Proper paperwork.
Yes, all that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So you had a scenario where Chief Okoroji, in his personal capacity, would wake up one morning and say, okay, instead of one panel, maybe we should do 3. And between himself and the contractor, they had conversations, they had quotes, there were verbal approvals as to, okay, 3 panels would cost us 1K instead of 300 naira. And the guy goes ahead, he provides 3 panels, and they send us,
and then the bill is more.
Yes,
okay, so if I'm correct, they didn't carry the board along.
I'm just holding.
I
guess we need to take a quick break, and the buzz will be right back. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the show, The Buzz. All right, we had to take that break so we could usher in our third guest this afternoon. We all know him and we love him. He is a known music producer and he's also an artist in his own right. It's a pleasure to have COSON join us on the show this afternoon. Welcome, COSON.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us on the table.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Mr. Ife, I'll come back to you. I hear what you're saying. What you're incensed about is the fact that the board was not most times carried along in...
The board wasn't carried along. We're trying to resolve the issue. We got notice that the standing committees have been dissolved in our absence.
Okay.
We converged to discuss that issue. Before we got there, we had received a petition from our senior members.
Okay.
Right? People like Evangelist Obey, Fabi in his personal capacity on behalf of his record label, Premier Music Publishing, Laulo Akins, Mr. Bodia Kinyemi of Ivory Music, Osia Fasin, Rogers All Stars. They'd written a petition to the NCC against the entire board, right? So
Which you are a part of.
We're a part
you
of.
were a part of.
Yes,
Okay.
I am a part of. So
Okay.
we arrived on December 7th at an emergency board meeting with issues we're trying to resolve, from COSON House contract wahala to standing committees dissolved in our absence by the almighty Tony Okoroji. And we met, a petition against all of us.
Okay.
So we needed to discuss all of that.
All right, we'll come back. We'll come back to that issue. Let's bring in Mr. Okafor. How does the P-man come into all of this issue?
We actually took our time. At the time we noticed the issue, that was like in December. Me and my ex-cos didn't want to get into taking sides. So even at the time they called me up to make a statement, I'm like, no, let's give them time. It's an internal issue, they will be able to solve it. Okay. We waited from, if you notice when we issued our press release, we waited from December till
Tuesday,
and it was like 5 months. Now, while we were waiting, we had communication with everybody, including COSON's team, including Tony Okoroji's team. We had communication with AFA's team, and we had communication with NCC. Now, and that was a delay. That was a whole lot of people have been asking, why did it take P-man this long to get into?
To wade into the matter.
It took us this long because we were trying to be sincere with our findings and our outcome, and we need to take our time to investigate it.
Can I butt in? P-man wading into this issue, how does it help?
Well,
seeing as which, I'm sorry, but then seeing as which P-man on his own has issues, long-standing issues that are unresolved, wading into the NCC, COSON, AFA, Tony issue, how does it help?
P-man is wading into, yes, there's been long-standing issue, but again, the media and the public know the truth of what is happening. Now, P-man wading into is actually putting the record straight, so that what happened in P-man 26 years ago won't repeat itself.
Okay.
That's basically why we're being sincere and truthful in the whole matter. And that's why it took us this long to get in and trying to see if we can solve it. Now, we have regulators. We have licensed CMOs. Now, you cannot operate without the regulators issuing you a license to operate. The same thing like bank. You cannot operate a bank without a central bank giving you. So we should just be in know of that. Now, we waited to get a report from both NCC, both FA, both Tony's team. Now, I personally called Tony in December, January, and in February. He did not return the calls. I spoke to the GM. I don't want to bring the GM in because, again, he's a staff. But I spoke again with their proxy.
The GM here being Chinedu Chukwudi. Okay.
So now it was taking them forever to get back with their reports. Then the final, it became a problem of arresting somebody and charging them to court. And that was when the pressure came upon me. President, you need to get out this release or else we all are going to crash. Now we've been able to normalize, to bring back the moribund P-man back to life. So we don't want this to drag everybody down again. So we took our stand. We took our stand now because we saw the investigation of, apart from our personal investigation, that's P-man, we saw the investigation of NCC.
Is there a working link between P-man and COSON? You know what I mean?
Do you guys have a relationship?
Can one
before?
Can an issue with one affect the other?
I take that.
Go ahead.
There's no COSON without P-man. There's no COSON without P-man.
Without P-man, okay.
P-man is an important unit of the music industry coalition that birthed COSON. It would be absolutely responsible for P-man to stand on the fringes if there's threats to COSON. If P-man,
it's a rub off.
Not even rub off. If I had the power, if I were a dictator in Nigeria, and there's a P-man and there's crisis in COSON, and P-man stands on the fence, I would abrogate P-man.
Okay, all right. I'm actually going to come from a different point of view because I definitely know that COSON actually has issues with MCSN, and with this coming up on boards that COSON is having issues, we get like say, okay, fine, even if P-Man had always had issues before, but don't you think the perception from the normal Nigerian artists out there and even the other body, MCSN, how would you think they'll be looking at COSON as it is?
Okay. Yes. Now, P-Man is the mother body.
Okay.
No, like what he said, let me put it in plain English. P-Man owns COSON, P-Man owns MCSN.
Because you're the apex body.
Apex body, okay.
We need to understand that. Now, if MCSN goes offline, P-Man's responsibility is to bring
them back.
Bring them
on
back.
track.
On track, okay.
And order what we want to see in the industry. Now, if this industry crashes, the blame will come to P-Man. It's not going to go to COSON. It's not going to go to MCSN. We need to understand that's the amount of responsibility that is on us, that is P-Man. Now, there have been issues, and since we came in, we've been trying to resolve the issues that we met 20-something years ago. And that's what we're dealing with. We've been dealing with that, trying to resolve it. We refuse being intimidated or being harassed. And suddenly, COSON is popping up with the same, I'm saying it on live TV, with the same problem that happened
in P-Man way back then.
So, are we going to keep quiet? Are we going to try to manage it?
Okay, let's bring Kesolo in now, because when I told Kesolo yesterday, and Kesolo was like, he has so many things to probably ask the pioneers. We call them the pioneers. Yes.
Apart from that, a lot of the Nigerian artists, you know, are also disturbed by all this. Recently, Two-Face came out,
and
actually issued a statement
to NCC.
How do you react, really, to this?
Really, I'm
coming from the angle of a Nigerian artist.
I'm not coming. I'll comment from the angle of just a street person that is looking in, a consumer that consumes music. I feel, if you ask me for real, I'm going to just say, if it's possible for the government to dissolve MCSN, COSON, and just give one street power to P-Man. You know why? Because there's always been these rings of power tussle, especially with COSON. At a particular time, I never knew P-Man still existed. COSON was very extra active at a particular time that everybody wants to join COSON. And like people, I've forgotten there's a P-Man. P-Man should be the apex. You know, that's where everybody should belong to.
But that's not COSON's fault.
You get what I'm saying? So they were very active at that particular time. You know, so but along the line when he came on board, I was like, okay, I think somebody new, somebody who's actually somebody that's been present in the industry for a while is actually coming up. But you know, this issue of it's actually disturbing to us. That's why most of we kids would not want to be part of it. Because I will still ask till date, like, who are you governing? Who are you governing? So if I'm surprised he is saying that if his team and Tony's team, that shouldn't come out from a P-Man president. You should still see them as one. But if you are personally giving them a stage, like use your stage, this is your stage already, then there's a problem.
That means there's a divide.
Yes.
I get what you're saying.
It means you actually maybe you're on his side and you're not on Tony's side, because the way you've been addressing Tony, I do not like it.
Okay.
You understand? So for me, as a president, you know that there's friction between him and Tony. You understand? It is yours not to actually even segregate them already now. That's where I have a problem. So for me, they are still one body. And like you said, the good words you said earlier, like you see them as a family, an internal problem that they should fix themselves and not spread on the internet.
Alice, I'm happy you're blunt. Now, I want to ask a question, Mr. Omoribe. While speaking earlier, you talked about the regulatory body, which is NCC. Can I ask, is COSON a department under the NCC? Can the NCC give instructions to COSON? I'm going somewhere. That's why I'm asking this question.
Probably if you told me where you were going.
So we could arrive together.
But this is how, let me break something down. Kesolo, first and foremost. It's okay to speak from the perspective of the talent.
If you remember, I told you that I want to talk like
I don't want to talk like an insider.
Just
hear me out. It's okay to speak from the perspective of the talent. It's okay to speak from the perspective of the consumer. It's also okay for him to speak from the perspective of Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria. However, collective management has different strands to it. I'm not a performing artist. Right? I probably have just as much at stake. Probably have more at stake than a performing artist, right?
Sure.
Not everybody who performs has invested, has created more content than I've created. So if I create content as a writer, composer, and I never sing, all I do is sit down and write great songs, right? Or I compose. If I work as a record label executive and I put my hard-earned money and I fund sound recordings, push artists, promo, video, whatever, I have a right to earn. I'm a right owner.
Yes.
If I run a publishing company, if I do publishing business, and I've never sang in my life, I can write a line, I have interest in collecting money, right? So while P-Man would discuss what affects performing musicians and employers in terms of from the performance perspective, there are a lot of other interests within the ecosystem, right? So when you say who are you speaking for, who are you, you know, they're publishers, they're composers, they're record label executives, they're writers, they're artists.
Investors.
Investors.
Of course,
That is the COSON conversation, first of all. So for clarity, to your direct question, which if I remember vividly, if the NCC...
can they issue instructions?
The COSON, a CMO cannot operate. A CMO is a company limited by guarantee. It's non-profit. It cannot function without approval, without license and approval and regulation. We are set up to do something, one very basic thing.
To collect royalty on behalf of the
distribute
Nigerian artists. Okay.
Right? Rights owner, not artist.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have a task. License music to commercial users, collect money for issuing licenses, and distribute to both local and international partners, everybody within the pool of the CMO. That's our job. Now, to do that, you require a license, you require regulation. COSON cannot have a board meeting without the presence of the regulator. COSON cannot onboard, there are a lot of things we cannot do. COSON cannot spend ₦1 more than a certain cap without clearance from the regulator. Okay. So if, in short, you've heard Tony Okoroji say that every year accounts are being put together and submitted to the regulator. Why is it important to submit the account? Because
to the regulator.
They have to approve what you do.
Yes.
And what you spend.
You cannot say, I have a lot of money, I'm going to set up a bank, I'm going to operate a bank. You need a CBN license, there are regulations. Because if they don't regulate you, there might be money laundering, you might take people's money, and there's a failed bank situation, and people are committing suicide, and people are getting, so there must be regulation. It's a country of laws, there's systems. So COSON is not law unto itself, neither is Okoroji or Ifemorobe law unto themselves. So if, when it's
I get that. I just wanted to know the extent of the powers.
So yes,
NCC has.
the NCC has not done one single act beyond its powers. Okoroji, the way Okoroji has refused to listen to make himself available to conversations with P-Man, the same way Okoroji refused to show up here today, giving you all kinds of fun. And I'm throwing an open challenge. Okoroji has some logical stuff to say about all his infractions have been catalogued. Let him engage. I'll clear my entire schedule, let him come here. Any day he picks, I'll be here. Right? Because this is Okoroji never addresses the issues. There are issues of impropriety, there are issues of high-handedness, there are issues that have made Okoroji unfit to be in our board as director, not to mention a chairman.
Hold on. Sorry, I want to ask a question there. I haven't said this because I know Preeti actually said something that 26 years ago, the same issue that happened way back in P-Man still happened, the same thing again. But you guys all knew this from the onset because the going was good, and about a certain time, something went wrong. So I'm talking from the outsider. I don't know what's going on. But everything is all like...
Okay, can I
yes.
At that point, we will not blame Efe.
Because you know what, bro? You guys are printed bag. Black. That's the truth.
That's it.
You are printed seriously black. Let me remove my glasses.
That's P-Man, yeah?
Yes, you guys are printed seriously black outside.
Wow. The matter is serious.
Let me tell you why I said we're not going to blame.
Okay.
Because you know the reason why I'm showing this was to you so you can play it. Because a lot of people want to know.
Hold on. Efe is among the new kid on the block.
Okay.
Right? If you're going to take blame. I say me and Gino were among, you were the younger,
Yes.
you were the youngest artist at that time. Right?
Okay.
Now, he wouldn't even know what transpired. I'm saying it. So it was because he doesn't know what transpired. That was why. And I'm sure most people don't know. The COSON idea didn't come from Tony. It came from Efe and Eddie Lawani and the rest when they formed Ambi Pro. They wanted to solve the issue of the industry on royalties. So how are we going to deal with MCSN and PMRS? So can we bring these two bodies together to work? That's what brought COSON. I need everybody to understand that. Like I said, I am old school right now. Yeah, I am old school. So I can tell you what has happened.
Okay.
Now, at that time, these guys were working with a plain mind.
Okay.
I wouldn't have done that. I would have looked at back. But when I knew that, I just said, I hope they won't get their fingers burnt. That's my decision. And
So already there were sentiments
yes, from people like me.
people like you.
I knew.
Then why didn't you voice out? Because
was
that's just one of the
arguments.
things. Why didn't you voice out?
If I had the position I had now at that time, I would have caused a whole lot of commotion. But at that time, they were doing it like, if you told them like you want to, these guys they were too energetic. They want to get it done.
Okay.
They want to get
Because they had a clear vision.
Okay, if it wants to say something.
Let me speak for myself and my people. Mr. President, sir, we're not quite as naive as
I thought.
Right? We had the benefit of information, and I engaged for years.
Okay.
I engaged for years. I jumped into meetings after meetings. I was in meetings with the AGF, Mr. Bayojo. I was in meetings with the NCC. I was in meetings with PMRS. I was in meetings with MCS, and I was in meetings with PMAN. I was in meetings with NARI. I engaged actively for years and reported back to my team. We were looking at all the scenarios. At the point we were with the Honorable Minister, and we're pushing an agenda to have all the directors at MCSN and PMRS to resign so we can start afresh. We were on the block, we were making music, we were funding videos, we were pushing, we were trying to get Nigerian music industry on a solid footing, and we had some old school issues that were bedeviling everything, and we resolved that we're going to break all these barriers and change everything. We invited Okoroji to the table. This time, 12, 13 years ago, Okoroji was sitting here. Maya was sitting there, we're asking questions, right? So, no apologies to you guys. If you guys have not engaged as much as you should, it's not too late, right? What we did differently from what you guys are doing is instead of sitting down and going on social media and ranting or just standing aloof and saying all that COSON madness, all that P-man stuff. If you're involved in this industry, you should ask yourself, why is P-man not working as much as well as it should? There must be reasons.
Okay.
Now, when you do find, you're responsible for your own knowledge. When you investigate and you find out, so you're confronted with the truth, do you have the courage to say, this is the truth? I would stand by it and speak it, irrespective of whose ox is for.
Okay, Mr.
Right?
Ife, let me come in here, boss in here, so that we can move along quickly because of our time. Of course, because of the viewers, after the issue on the 7th of December, which, was supposed to have sacked Chief Tony Okoroji, another meeting called the EGM, held on the 19th of December, still last year. And we'll play you a footage of what happened at that meeting and how Tony Okoroji was restored. Then we'll come back and
Ladies
talk.
and
Let's
gentlemen,
watch this
welcome
footage first.
to the...
My name is Engineer Sharon S.O. Wilson Joshua, the National President of Music Producers and Managers Association Nigeria, MOGMAN. I have been following this great society right from the start to this end, and there has been progress. First of all,
If you need get a ring, whatsoever.
Hey! Okay. So, now, to cut matters short, I don't want you to talk again. Those who went nowhere to your body to carry on as chairman on the
All right, welcome back from that. I deliberately had to throw that clip in because when I saw this on the internet, I was like, okay, these are all COSON members.
Technically, not so true.
Well,
okay.
I want to assume, because if you're not a member, you're not expected to be at an EGM.
You want to say something?
Yes, I'll ask you a question. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's assume these are all COSON members, you know, saying they still want Okoroji as their chairman. Now, with all of this, these issues, you know, this back and forth between yourself and Mr. Tony Okoroji, how about the interest of thousands of members of COSON that are at stake?
You seem to be reading a lot of Okoroji write-ups. Thousands of...
Because I do know that COSON has thousands of members.
Now, the thousands of COSON members, do they exclude Ifeomorogbe, writer-composer?
No.
Do they exclude Now Music? Do they exclude 960 Music? Do they exclude Hypertension? Do you have a clue the size of
Ivory
my
Music?
catalog? Do they exclude Ivory Music? Do they exclude Premium Music?
Not at all,
Do
as
they
long as
exclude
you're a registered
do they
member of
exclude
COSON.
Storm, Cabal? Do they exclude Chocolate? You know how many records Chocolate City have put out in the last 5 years? So when you sit and you say, how... Name one person
That you know.
that
I saw Wadada there. That I know.
Yes.
I saw Maureen. What's her surname now?
Good.
I saw KSB
I don't
there.
want to cast aspersions on anybody. Between the three people that you just called, the question you need to ask yourself is, how are they more of thousands of Nigerian artists than Chocolate City Music?
That is not the issue.
No, this
That's
is
not
the issue.
the issue.
No, listen, this is the issue. Question is about rights management. I just told you here that we walked into a meeting dissatisfied with the way COSON money was being spent to renovate a building. Does that money belong to thousands of Nigerian musicians?
Yes,
or does
it
it
does.
belong to Okoroji?
It belongs
Good.
to...
Now, so if my job on the board is to protect the interests of the thousands of Nigerian musicians, and I'm sitting on the board and I'm not doing that, am I serving the purpose for which I'm supposed to be on the board?
My
I'm not on the board to be
question,
friends
my
with
question
Okoroji.
is coming from the premise of
I'm
when two
asking-
elephants
No,
fight,
it's not
the grass suffers. What happens to the members of COSON is what I'm saying in all of this.
There's a major fallacy in this conversation. That's why I think you read too much of Okoroji's articles, right?
I read a lot of your
You read
articles
too much,
too, by the way.
when
I read a
Okoroji
lot
says
of your...
thousands of Nigerian musicians, thousands of Nigerian right holders. The question is the people that are asking for probity, the people that are asking for an audit,
Are content owners.
are they not members of COSON?
They are.
The people, the collective that you have there, how many of those people put together have 50% of the works
Presently on TV
from,
and radio.
or the works from only Premium Music Publishing? So if I told you in this conversation a few minutes ago that we got into a meeting, our monies were being squandered, we were trying to ensure that there's control, because let me tell you what happens. When we have 100 naira and you allow Okoro to spend 50 naira, what is left is 50 naira to share with those thousands of Nigerian musicians. If you keep the spend on that 20k, or I said 100 naira, on that 20 naira, you have 80 naira to share. If you keep the cost under 10 naira, you have 90 naira to share. So the question is it more important that between Okoroji and his contractor, they spend 80 naira
and keep 20
and keep 20 naira for everybody to spend? So who is protecting the interest of the thousands of Nigerian
all right.
musicians?
Let's get a half Pretty. Pretty, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, from the question she brought in, thousands of, I need to be, that's why I bought the idea of...
The issue is on thousands.
Yeah, that's why I bought the idea of probe. Now the probe is the process. It's going to involve how do you even bring in content owners and copyright owners. From what I know, if it's been working with them, like how many of those people are content owners, are copyright owners? One question. How many of those people sitting there, did
have you used a music video from them in the past?
Recently, that's what I was wondering.
I just mentioned some names.
So that's what I was wondering on TV, because on a good day,
So we need to be, like I said, the day
Look, I'm
I
not
decide-
taking any side here.
No.
I'm just throwing out the issues.
Yeah, but see,
As
we need to
yeah.
try.
But let me ask, what would end all of this? Because that should be like the focus of everybody. What would end all
this? You know,
this?
that's why we need to do the investigation properly. And it took us 5 months before we took a stand, right? You cannot talk about COSON, talk about MCSN without the regulators. If the regulators are saying this is wrong, this is totally wrong, this is the only way this can move forward, and you are doubting it, let me tell you, do you know what is going to happen? We're going to have disaster if the regulators take their license.
I'll hold all of you guys responsible.
If
Right?
they
Listen,
move their
let me
license.
tell you personally, you're friends of mine. I'll hold you guys, all of you responsible. Because what you're saying here is this. You have an NBC that regulates broadcasting. And a TV station, because they have a license and they're a private organization, they fall foul of the broadcast code. And time again, the regulator stipulates directives and they flout that directive.
of course, they have the right to
When they
take a
shut
license.
down the TV station, you guys will come and explain. So, let me tell you,
It's a
NBC
disaster.
does not regulate how staff is run in a TV station. They regulate content. That is
wow, it's
where
been
my
played.
now we're coming to my question.
Now, so
As it were, NCC's powers are within regulating what COSON does in terms of collecting royalty on behalf of right owners.
So what we just said about
Which
the
brings
monies
me
that
to
we
the
spend
question.
and the
Hold
way we
on. It
spend
brings
the
me to
money.
the question. The office of chairman of COSON, according to the constitution of COSON.
The memo and articles.
Yes. How do you elect? Do you say, how does it go? How electing a chairman for COSON?
I'm losing patience.
Does MCC determine who becomes chairman of
I'm losing
COSON?
patience with you. I'm losing patience for a simple reason. You get kata for ear.
I don't get. I'm trying to understand the issues here.
Listen, there's nothing to understand. We have alleged that we had a chairman who has assumed executive positions, who has committed a list of infractions.
Okay.
We did the needful. We're on the board to protect the society.
We heard all that.
So we sacked the guy. The guy set up a show, put cameras, brought in actors, wrote a script, and restated himself. Right? We've said, okay, it's fine. All our claims. I want to stay away from COSON House for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You stay away for 2-3 weeks. Let there be a full forensic audit. The guy is saying no, and you're sitting here. You're asking me about if NCC has rights to whatever. Listen,
okay, every other
I'm
person
asking
gets
that.
to like.
Okay. How do you elect chairman
it's
for COSON?
It's not an election.
It's a
No,
vote.
listen,
Okay.
Let me clarify something. This is not about transition.
Okay.
This is not about an election.
It's about transparency,
This is not-
accountability.
This is not about. This is about criminal conduct. This is what. See, people say. You guys listen. Let me clarify something here. They asked us what's the tenure of the COSON chairman. And I said,
okay.
And I don't answer that question. Do you know why?
Why?
Because let's start COSON is. COSON is like your House of Senate, right? The electorate, they vote in the senators. The senators choose the Senate president, right? Now, if the Senate president is sworn in May 29,
Okay.
and he has a 4-year term on paper, if by June 29, there's clear-cut evidence of infraction, what do? They impeach him, the Senate. You don't stop him from being a senator, but they remove him as
Senate president.
Summary. They don't
Yes.
wait for 4-year
Yeah,
cycle
I get
at
that.
the general elections so Okoroji is a non-executive chairman. If he is a non-executive chairman,
Okay.
if I get on the board as chairman week 1, and by the end of that week I misbehave,
You
please
can be
remove me.
All right,
this
Kesolo.
Kesolo,
You are the brass in this issue. It's not me. It's got nothing to do with me, really, because I don't have any rights.
You actually asked most of the questions I want to ask, but
Uh-huh.
like I will still say, as much as if he has so many ideas, he still needs to put this thing straight to people.
All of this is not straight enough.
See, you still need to be straight enough to us for everybody to understand where the fault is coming from and where it needs to be fixed. in layman English.
Okay,
Okay, what do you want? What he just said they've been misappropriation of funds.
Yes, I get that.
They thief our money.
Okay, yes. Okay, now, so and we want him out of that seat.
No,
and it's not. You want a forensic.
They voted him out.
He's been voted out already.
Yes.
See, Okoroji was, as we speak, Okoroji is not the only people that recognize Okoroji as chairman of COSON,
his team,
right? His agents and his acolytes, right?
Yeah.
In the eyes of the law, Okoroji is not chairman of COSON. Now you can play games forever. You can do smoke and mirrors, and you can do PR. You can go everywhere. Truth not get remixed,
of course.
Right? Now, what we've said is very simple: audit COSON, not an audit that Okoroji or Efe Omorogbe has any control over. Right?
Okay. On the body.
When we establish the facts and the details, even the blind will see. We'll be calling 200, 300, 400 artists have signed petitions requesting for an audit. The guy is refusing to submit to an audit. The regulator, they made directives. The guy is refusing to submit, to comply. And instead of seeing it clearly that there's clear desperation, someone has something to hide, you're sitting here telling me, asking me.
No. But don't you think that? Don't you think we actually don't respect the law?
When issues like this are on the table, there's no. It doesn't look like there's resolution.
We tried. No, we tried calling him. We tried.
When issues like this are on, and then both parties are not ready to, bend, as it were, I think people go to court, right? Have you gone to court, Mr. Efe? As this matter, no, I'm asking for the Nigerian viewers. It's not for me. Has this matter gone to court?
Maybe Pretty needs to answer.
Because at the end of the day, it will finally end up being at the end of the day, one person's losing the license, and then everybody's benched.
That's why I don't understand.
That is a yes or a no question, Mr. Okafor.
Listen now. We don't want it.
Please, sir, has this matter gone to court?
Do you know why? No, hold on.
That's the reason why people is coming in.
Why we would not want it to get to court?
Oh, it's not in court.
Yes, it's not in court. You know why we don't want it to go to court? Because that's why PMAN is there.
Okay.
Now, and that's why we have regulators. Now, if the regulators have done their investigation and PMAN has done their investigation, and we're being fair, and we're saying, they are saying you stole, you're saying you didn't. Okay, let's get an external forensic auditor to audit. If we find out that what they are claiming, a face party are claiming actually lies, we'll ask them to resign, and you continue. But if we are saying, what they are saying, you will refund the money, is that not clean, simple, and
as Chief agreed? As Chief agreed?
They agree.
It's
a question. As Chief agreed.
And you guys want us to
hold on. You and I know that this issue is not as simple and straightforward as you are making it. Because you know how many times you went to court on your own.
But that is PMAN because they've created that problem before we came.
I understand.
Okay, but do you know I'm actually worried? I'm worried for the. Do you know I'm worried? I'm worried for the Nigerian artists because the guys that I know that their songs that trend on TV stations and even radio stations, they were not even there, and the ones that are even there. Don't you understand? So
it's the Nigerian artists that will suffer at the end of, which is what I said.
Because I was sorry.
Our time is almost up.
Sorry, I put this little words to a family today, and I was like, if this thing, she spoke out of her own low level and said that the way this thing is going through, if the government comes into this thing fully, we end up suffering. And you know them when they bring their sledgehammer, it hits on anybody. And everybody that's actually been passing through the back doors and not been doing it rightly, you say you're an investor and you just come in and you feel like, okay, good, this is what you're doing. Like the case happening between Runtown and his label. You know, these are issues where I expect Mr. Pretty to be. It should not be spread on the internet, and it messes up us every day. The point is, you throw content outside. I can bet you, like, if COSON brings out their paper, you see most content providers that are selling outside are not even signed on that COSON or either PMAN. They just throw out content. You know, so with these things, when the government comes in at the end of the day, I feel like, okay, you guys are not even competent enough to do this. So okay, let's hand it over to business.
Now you get my point. Quick last words, Mr. Omorogbe, so we can.
Mr. Omorogbe, I feel. When someone has actually lost a battle, they don't care. They want to actually push you to the wall whereby you mess everything up. So I feel we should be smart enough in this point.
don't allow them to.
Because that is where they are probably pushing it. In Yoruba, they say, "Kakake kuma jesi yama vishawadano." Maybe somebody should give it the interpretation.
And at the end of the day, it will be a huge loss to the Nigerian entertainment
industry. That's where they are pushing us to.
Yeah.
I'm not quoting off head, but according to report I got online, when COSON came out, it was like a breath of fresh air for the Nigerian artists because COSON was rated as the most standardized.
I even collected money too.
Yeah, you know, the most transparent, accountable organization in the history of Nigerian creative industry. And we were all pleased about that. But years down the line, this is where we are. It is not a pretty sight, gentlemen. Whatever you need to do to
you want to say something? Patience.
In 10 seconds, Mr. Morugbe. In 10 seconds. I know 10 seconds is not enough for you, but we have to go. In 10 seconds.
Guys, we have a golden opportunity to resolve an issue and to set a precedence.
Yeah.
It's great that this is happening to COSON. I tell people, the people who pay, I even tell the artists, if you have a board in place where people can argue and stand for what is right, even at the risk of their personal image or whatever, it means that it's functional. Right? If we gather ourselves, 11 of us, and we drink beer every day, and we spend your money the way we like, you should be worried. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your industry. Get involved.
Yes.
Know Okoroji, know if your Morugbe has at stake more than you do. Ensure that things are done right. And it starts by everybody submitting to the directives of law.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Okafor, in 10 seconds.
I think this is our industry, and our stand is we're not going to allow it to go down. We're not going to allow it crash. And then we're making sure, it's the mother body of the creative industry. And we've taken our stand, and we'll stand by it and see it come to.
Okay. All right. I wish we had more time. Well,
I wish.
For 6 hours. I
wish.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you, Keselo. Thank you, Mr. Peter Okafor. Thank you, Mr. Morugbe. We will see if we can.
And if whenever Mr. Tony can come, please invite us.
Yes, so that we can.
It's an open invitation.
Please. Whenever it confirms, let me know.
Thank you for watching the show today. Join us tomorrow on The Buzz at noon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.